Hello, hi, happy Saturday. Okay, comment pinned. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to episode 18 of 20 Questions With. Today's special guest is going to be Polly from the BOMBPOPS. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Erin Micklow, and I host a show on YouTube where I interview bands, cover their live sets, and do festival recaps. So let's bring Polly on. What do? I'm gonna add you, Polly. Uh-oh, that's weird. So Polly, I see that you're in here, but adding you, I don't see you in the people to add. Polly, can you send me a request to join? Because I don't see you in here. That's really strange. Instagram just keeps changing shit. Here we go. Sent a request. View. Yes. Okay. Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Hi.
Hi.
Gorgeous.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Yes, the liquid death.
Yeah. I love it. Honestly, like, I know you don't drink anymore. We'll get to that. But, like, on the days in this quarantine when I have been hungover, their sparkling water just gives me life.
Oh, I know. It's so good. These hot days, too, and it stays cold. I could go on and on about how bomb the water is.
Yes. So let's jump into our questions.
Okay.
The BOMBPOPS, you guys have a new album that came out right when this quarantine started. Your album release show got canceled because it was, like, scheduled to be, like the Friday after the stay-at-home orders happened.
Right. Exactly. We kind of, we knew it was coming, but it was a bummer.
That sucks. I'm so sorry. I mean, this whole thing is, like, it's just been, finding the light sides of it. But let's talk about the album. Tell me about, like, your favorite parts of making it and, like, any struggles you guys face. It's a great album. I was listening to it again today when I was getting ready, and it's really good for this time that we're in when there's, like, a lot of sadness because it's really, like, upbeat.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, the lyrics, like, not so much. So
the lyrics aren't, but the tone.
Join the misery with us. But yeah, it's like, let's be happy and sing about all the bullshit. But yeah, I mean, always when we're recording with Chris Vogel at Black and Bloom Studios in Denver, it's such a good, like, family-oriented time. Like, we stay at their house. They have 2 small kids. And it's just always such a joy, like, working with him. And we also got to work with Yotam from Useless ID on this one. So, I mean, the main, like, standout thing is just how epic, like, working in the studio was and how well that flowed. It's always overwhelming and super hard. And I was still drinking at that time. But I think I love to, like, record while I'm miserable. Like, that's, I guess, a thing for me. So yeah. I was like, we were hungover, drinking the whole time, but, like, still on it. And, like, for some reason, we, like, can get stuff done. Uh-oh. Hold on. Sorry. Can you close that, please? Sorry, you can hear they're, like, listening to another room, and there's, like, a laugh.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. That's adorable. Your family's watching from the other room.
I know. He's gonna come in a few, but...
Cool.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, the highlight of that was definitely just the people we were with and around, during the whole process. It was smooth rolling, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can hear it, like, listening to some of your other records. Like, it's always cool to see how artists mature and, like, how you're growing and, like, you just learn as an artist. And then with that, too, you get to work with more experienced people and you're just more experienced at the recording process as well. Like, you can really hear the growth in your latest album compared to your previous ones.
Yeah, definitely. There is just more growth in songwriting overall. And I think just, too, like, our maturity level, like, as human beings. I mean, not that we're mature in any way, but just as songwriters and musicians,
I like that one clip, and I forgot which song it was, but the one where it's like one of you is yelling at each other and it's like something about being drunk. And, like, was that really, like, a clip you guys had? Or was...
Yeah, that was real. When we were putting, like, the record together, like, when it was done and we were doing all the sequencing and stuff, Neil was like, hey guys, I have this recording of us fighting. We were actually on our way we just played with the Interrupters in San Francisco, and we were on our way to Erin from Fat's house. And we were going to go stay there, and, like, we had gotten in a fight about, like, loading or something, like, and so he recorded it, and it was so, like, the whole thing is like intense, but like the best part is like it's such a BOMBPOPS thing, and like anybody that plays in a band and travels, like you know. But just the best is like Jen and I in the back, like we sound like whining hyenas. We're like in the background, we're like, Josh, oh my God, your energy right now. Oh my God. It's so good and dramatic, but oh, it does. And then it just starts with the song right there. So it's pretty funny.
It's also very like Californian too. Your energy.
I know. I'm not liking your vibe. And like, there's another part of it that we didn't put in there, but I'm like, I'll tell you, I sounded like my dad or my mom or something. I was like, I'm gonna tell you what, right now, this shit's not gonna fly in Europe. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Like, it's just, we were so, yeah, it's pretty much embarrassing for everybody, and we've all been there, so.
Yeah, what did he say in the clip? He's all, fine, we'll just record this album and then I'm out.
And then I'm out. Yeah. So funny. I mean, I've definitely called home on, you know, tours being in Europe. I hate these people. I'm leaving, you know. And now in this quarantine, I'm like, oh my God, I would die to be on the road fighting with them right now.
I feel you. Oh God. Okay, so you guys actually you have like 3 music videos out now from the new album, and they're all great. Can you share? Actually, my outfit today when I was getting dressed, I was like, fuck, I kind of look like POLI right now. And I'm like, it's not what I meant.
Yes, it's
like...
so cute. I was going to say, yeah, the belt. Dude, it's, well, that's, so with those music videos, that is so fun. Like, I'm sure as you can imagine, like, kind of like figuring out our characters and like being able to dress in ways that maybe we wouldn't all the time or whatever. So that's always fun, like getting the outfits together and stuff. Yeah. I guess like a little... You know, our music videos are so much creative, like opinions and energy going in. And I can say like about Double Arrows Down, and I know we're going to get into like diabetes later on, but yeah, that one just is about being type 1 diabetic. And so going into that video, I was like, this needs to be absolutely perfect and like really like describe and explain how I feel. And so in that one, I feel like there was a lot of tense like stress, especially coming from me, because it's like, I want this to come across exactly how I want. So like in the beginning of planning that, like a lot of like creative, like butting heads, you know, and it was like, and I feel like it was good. It was good for the energy. And we finally like did all agree on like making everyone's ideas kind of in there. During that like filming that music video was super, like it just hit close to home. And so it was like nerve-wracking, and there's funny parts, like of course like not everything makes it into the video because it's so short, but yeah. Jen and Neil were like manhandling me when I was in that chair, and like there's scenes that like got cut, but like they would take that popsicle stick. I swear Jen was just trying to torture my ass and like get me back for like things in the past, and like she was just slamming my tongue down, and I'm trying to like lip sync, you know, and I'm like actually trying to sing out loud. So I told the director I want to like get all the bloopers from that, because I'm like trying to sing, and they're just like, oh my God, it was chaotic and it was really hard, but it's kind of like a funny thing.
Yeah, I feel like when you make music videos too, it comes across as more realistic for the singing part if you're actually singing, because it's like if you're lip syncing, you could tell, you know, you can...
Yeah. So I definitely like sing out loud when we do it, and so it just sounded so funny when I had like a million things in my mouth.
Well, it was a great video. I like that one, and then I like the one. What was the one? The one on the beach. It was for Zero Remorse.
Yes, and that one was. We just felt so badass like doing that, and it was really cool because we worked with these professional wrestlers. Like both of the guys that we like kicked their ass were professional wrestlers. So.
I know Rob. I met him at a show.
Oh, okay. There you go. So yeah, it was awesome because he was like jumped in and was choreographing everything, and like the next day I was so sore because, like just my whole body, because you really are like slamming things down. Like you're trying to make it look real, so you have to like kind of like get nitty gritty with it. And so like I had like bruises on my arm from like slamming the knife down, and like I was sweating balls the whole time. I was like, I did not plan to like work out today, but okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that like watching the end scene of the music video, I was like, damn, like there's no faking that. Like somebody actually probably threw Jen on the couch right there. And, like...
Oh yeah, we did. It was so funny. The sound, her body was like, oh. Like...
She's in she's so petite too, you
I
know?
know. He was just throwing around and she was on his shoulders and he was like, it was so fun. It was fun.
Well, so I saw you celebrated your birthday last week, and this was your first birthday celebrating sober, like you mentioned before. Can you talk about like the journey of becoming sober and how your life has changed? It's a big deal.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I think I'm 9 months now, and I'm like, because before I would always like think about like, oh, I'm not gonna drink today, or maybe like not for a week. I could not do it, and I would think I'm never gonna be able to do that. How do people do that? Some of my friends would do like no drinking January or whatever. I'm like, I can never do that. Like, you know, and I didn't quite hit rock bottom yet, but I was like damn near close. And it kind of just all came about. We were on a family trip in Ventura. We were on this awesome beach house and everyone's drinking, you know, that's what we do. And my husband and I like kind of got in a fight, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. And my parents were there, and so I just like, I was drunk, and then I started crying, and I was like, I think I have a problem, this and that, and then everyone was crying. And then the next day, I think was like the end of the vacation anyway, so my parents drove me home and like pretty much got me into a rehab place right away. I just think like I wasn't so bad, but like I definitely needed to go somewhere. So I went to a detox facility for 1 week and then a residential house for 2 weeks. And I should have stayed 3 weeks at the residential, but I had to go on tour.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this the best idea right now? And I was like, you know what? I think I got it. Like talking to everybody there and like my family and friends and band. I was like, I think I can do this. I think it was actually the best thing for me to do is jump right into something that's hard, you know?
Yeah. I don't judge me. But in this quarantine, the latest show I've been binge watching is the Jersey Shore.
Yes. So
and I'm on the season where Mike has to come back to the house coming off of, you know, opiates. And it's like, obviously that situation, just like touring, is like a party situation.
Right.
And he's like 3 months sober off of opiates, alcohol, and cigarettes. And it's like, can you know, it's like really putting you to the test, because as musicians, it's like, yeah, like, you know, you're on the road and your fans want to buy you drinks. They want to hang with you after the show. And it's like, you're really like being tested.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was definitely a test. And I just was so sick of waking up every day and feeling like crap. Like I already have a disease. I already have diabetes, and you know, I'm a mom, and I just hated shaking in the morning. I hated pissing out of my asshole there was no solid shits in my life. Like, and like all those I remember in rehab, I had like my first solid shit. I'm like, yeah, you know. And
why were you like a beer drinker?
Yes.
Okay.
Beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had the beer shit.
I would drink anything, but I love beer. Beer's bomb. So yeah, it was mostly beer, and yeah, just it's not good. You know, I've already lost weight just not drinking, you know. The extra fluff, like I just feel like just healthier. I'm just so glad I don't have to like drink to feel normal. Like I wasn't even getting like fucked up. I just had to like kind of drink to feel normal. But you know, it's totally like the lifestyle. I've been playing music and around that stuff since I was, you know, 14. So
yeah.
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. You know, I had a blast on that tour, like with my friends, and you know, it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I personally, like, I've had my times where I'm like, okay, I need to stop drinking for a bit because I'm self-medicating with it. It's not fun, and you feel like you're just a prisoner to it because you feel like shit so much inside that you're just like you're trying to cope and mask the pain, and then you're hungover, so you're like, oh, I'm just going to keep drinking to make how shitty I feel go away, and then it's this like vicious circle.
Exactly. And like even today I woke up, I mean, I don't even know why. It must have been like I was like, just because I had something to do and it's exciting and fun, but you know, I still get a little nervous to do this type of stuff. Yeah. But I was like making it ruin my and I'm like, I feel right now, I feel like hungover, like I feel like barfy, you know, and I'm like, yeah, imagine being actually hungover on top of the anxiety, like, and yeah, you're just masking it. So.
Yeah. I have that too sometimes. Like, you know, I've had my negative times with alcohol, and then I've, you know, tried to have a healthy relationship with it now. Not always succeeding, but it's always about just moving forward. But on the days where I don't drink, and like I always get a little stressed before interviews because I want them to go well, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
do I have are all the boxes checked? And it's like on the days that I don't drink, there's days I've talked to my girlfriends, and I'm like, God, I haven't had alcohol in like several days, but I feel like hungover today. And like stress hangovers are real. That's a real
They
thing.
are. I know, and I've been like staying up late, like playing playing video games, and it feels like straight up hangover in the morning. But
yeah, there's been times that I'm like, I have not had a drink in several days, so it's not like a 2-day hangover, because it's like I haven't had alcohol in several days, and I don't do any other substances. I'm not a weed smoker, and I don't do like over the counter medicines. Aside from alcohol, I'm like natural, and so I'm like, why the fuck do I feel like this right now? It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. No, it's like, and it's all this stuff too. It's like, how much did I sleep? Have I eaten? Like, I'm seriously learning, like, oh, we have to take care of our bodies. Like, you know, I don't have an appetite sometimes too. Like, I just like choke down like a half a piece of toast, but like whatever. Get something in there, you know? It's crazy.
Oh God, it's the part of them starting to get older that it's like, man,
I know.
like, man, you gotta work a lot harder to get to like
to feel good before you can just wake up and like, yeah, let's go play 24 hours. Like, yeah.
Oh God. So let's talk about your family. You have a son named Adler. He's adorable. As a female musician, like, how do you navigate that when you go on tour? Because it's obviously different. Like, you know, the relationship between a mother and a child is different than a father and a child, and it's usually like the stereotype that the guy goes on tour, no big deal, mom's home. Like, how is that for you?
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. Like, because I think it's hard for any parent, right? You're a father, touring musician, but there is a special bond between mother and child. Like, there is. And, you know, it's really hard right now. Like, again, I would kill to be away from them. Yeah, it's so hard. Like, that's the main, like, my anxieties before leaving on tour and stuff. And I can't say if it's gotten easier or harder, like, as he's gotten older, as he's been more, I think it's easier now. Like, he is more aware, but he understands. Like, he's stoked for me. He's like, you have to go make money for the family. And I'm like, oh, honey, there's no money. It's so cute. I'm like, oh, he actually thinks like I make good money doing this. But no,
it's like, baby, we're lucky if we break even.
Babe, it's punk rock, okay? But he's sweet, and it's been his life. And I also have, actually, she's here now, but my mother-in-law, recently retired around the time he was born, and she lives up in NorCal. So she comes down and stays at my house for few weeks. Since he's been in school, it's also easier too, because he goes to school, you know, so it's not like daycare, figuring that out for the day. But family and like our good friend support, you know, just that you could stay and feel like he's safe and comfortable when I'm gone.
Do you have like a routine where you'll make it like a point to call him every day, or like every other day, or?
Yeah, in Europe it's hard. Like sometimes it'll be a few days, just because like I'll text and stuff. But sometimes like, oh shoot, like I really need to call Adler. Like it's been a few days, but in a way it's almost easier, especially in Europe. The Wi-Fi is all shoddy, and like every time I get on to talk to them, it's like the connection's so bad that it just pisses me off and bums me out. So I kind of like avoid that. But when I know it's good and I have like a solid time to talk, so like every few days. Yeah. And I feel like that does help, like kind of with the time passing, and like instead of every day being like, I miss you, buddy, you know? It's like, it's better to like.
Because it gives them their time to get on their routine of like, here's what we do when mommy's gone away.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, how was it touring when he was a baby? Like, did you take time off from the time between he was born and touring? I mean, like, that was kind of early on in the band's career, so I would imagine that that's not really possible for the band to have the growth for where it is today.
Yeah. when I was pregnant, we probably played like 3 or 4 shows. Like when I first found out I was pregnant, we were in punk rock. We had a show with like Dead to Me, No Use for a Name, at Punk Rock Bowling. So it was just crazy. I was so stressed out because of my diabetes, makes my pregnancy high risk. And so, but like I played that, we played a few shows. I was just writing a lot. And then it was pretty quick that we were back to it, because actually since Punk Rock Bowling just passed, my mom was texting me and she's like, this was like Abner was like 5 months old at that time. And that was the first time I really left him for like the weekend. I turned 21 when I was pregnant. So like I kind of got to like celebrate my 21st birthday at Punk Rock Bowling, like when we first left him. And then from there, yeah, I was pretty much doing like longer tours by the time he was like 1 or so. And yeah, that was hard because like they grow so fast and you know. But I felt like, oh my God, am I gonna like regret this one day? And like so far I haven't, because like I've seriously gotten the best of both worlds. And he's come on tour with us before and he loves it. Like he loves trash life. He loves the snacks, the trash snacks. He loves staying in hotels. He loves destroying green rooms. Like he's all about it. So.
Well, I feel like too, like for you as a mom, because like you're out there and you're doing the things that bring you joy and make you feel really full. It's why you're able to have a better relationship with your family. You know, like if people are not full in themselves, it's like, how can you show up for those other people that are important in your life?
Exactly. You seriously hit the nail on the head with that, because I remember also being like, you know, I don't want him to look back one day. He's, you know, kids are smart. He would know that now. Be like, Mom, stop playing music. Mom, stop touring and doing what she loves because of me. Like, I just feel.
Yeah. I hear you, and you're frozen for a minute. Let's wait a second and see if it comes back. Hopefully. Okay, you're back, but you're back. You're back.
Okay, we're both back. You were okay. All right.
Okay. Thank God. Like there was a time in these quarantine interviews, maybe like 3 weeks ago, and it was like, God, it was just a week where like every single one of my interviews, the connection, like I just had to reconnect with people like several times during the interview, and I was like,
that's so like stressful. You get like clammy. You're like, I'm losing viewers. It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like I can't do anything about it when it's a connectivity thing. Are we fucking not working again? Hold on.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you're kind of choppy.
Let me see. Let me try to turn my Wi-Fi off and see if that helps. Maybe.
Still, it's like reconnecting. Yes.
I turned my Wi-Fi off.
I see you, but you're kind of
Shit.
Okay.
What do we do? Should I disconnect you and bring you back on? Do you want to try that?
Should we do that? Try turning your Wi-Fi back on.
Okay, let me try to turn it back on. Sorry, everyone watching. You're sorry. Okay.
Still choppy.
My Wi-Fi is.
No, someone.
All right. My Wi-Fi is back on.
What's going on in here?
Hi.
You want to come say hi?
I'm seeing the internet.
Oh, you guys are.
Hi.
Okay. Yours is frozen on my end. Adler's hogging the internet for Minecraft.
Okay.
Do you want to let me I'm
No,
not going to end it, but let me disconnect you and we'll bring you back on, okay? Let's try that.
Okay.
Boop. Okay. Sorry, everyone. quarantine interviews. Let's see if we can bring her back on. Oops. Add. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're good now. You look really clear. I can hear
Okay,
you.
you look clear.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my God. I have gotten like so good at these Instagrams now. Like I swear to God, I have learned so many small things about Instagram in this quarantine that I never knew before.
I know. Hey, that's good. We're all learning something. The technology does, you know, it's cool that we can do this. And of course, there's going to be like glitches, you know?
Yeah. So, let's talk about the cover of the Garbage song you did in your shower. It was hilarious because I could kind of see what you meant by like you said. It turns out singing in the shower is harder than I thought.
Yeah. Dude, it was, well, okay.
God damn it.
God damn it.
God damn it.
Okay. Damn it.
I know there's never any way to tell whose Wi-Fi it is either. Fuck.
It should.
I can see you clearly now.
Okay, now, okay, I'm back. Okay. Okay. I'm like scared to start talking because.
I know,
Okay,
like, neither one of us has moved or our phones have moved, so it's like, what is happening?
I don't know.
Well, so yeah, let's talk about that because it was really funny. Like towards the end, it was almost like what I think your makeup was getting in your eyes, and you just keep trying to sing through it.
Like, well, the water was getting in my mouth, and so my husband tied the shower head, taped it to like a broomstick, so he could like control it and put it like further back on my head, but it was still running down, and I put a towel kind of over my guitar because what was happening is the water wasn't exactly getting on the guitar, but it was going down the front of my shirt and like just getting the guitar soaked. And so like I didn't really give a fuck, but I was also like the feeling like you have when your guitar is getting wet and you're trying to just go along like nothing's happening is like really hard. Because it's like my guitar is getting like maybe ruined, but yeah, anyway, it was really difficult, and I was almost like, I'd already told Ratio Beerworks, I was like, I have this really cool idea, like, I can't wait. I tried it first, and I was like, dude, I was like choking on water. I was like, there's no way, like, I can't even do this, but it worked out well, so it was fun.
Yeah, it was really funny. I mean, like you could see towards the end that you're like trying to spit the water from your mouth. Are we back? Like,
hello.
Okay, we'll just keep going, and then like let's just positive thoughts that we're gonna manifest that the connection is going to work. We're manifesting.
Wi-Fi is gonna work. You gotta rub your boobs. It helps. Wi-Fi.
It was so funny watching that video through because like once you get like more than halfway through, you're kind of like.
I was like, and then I have like contacts, and my water was like getting my contact on, like, yeah. It was fun, and my guitar was fine. Actually, my guitar sounded better afterwards. It like brightened up the sound.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, can you get guitars wet? I didn't think you could do that. It's probably not a good thing.
I mean, yeah, I was like, there's kind of a lack over the acoustic guitar. Did it, wiped it off right away, like it was fine.
Yeah, I mean, like you would imagine that they have some kind of water resistance because like musicians, you get really sweaty when you're on stage.
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to ask, how did you come up with the name the BOMBPOPS? That was like a candy or an ice cream in the 50s or something, right?
Yeah, they still have them. They like ice cream trucks. Actually, I got some in my freezer. But we were at our first drummer's house, and we would practice in his mom's garage, and it was like a hot summer day, and the ice cream truck pulled up. We're like, let's go get some ice cream. And so our drummer ordered a lickety lick bomb pop, which I usually just see like bomb pop, but this ice cream truck had lickety lick. And so he ordered that. We all thought it was funny. We're like, what about lickety lick bomb pops? And like we shortened it down to the bomb pops.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just kind of stuck. But like our first drummer, like he coined that when he like ordered it, and we're like, wait, that's kind of cool. And they were like,
that's awesome. Yeah, it's funny, like I've always known you guys as a band, and we didn't really connect until somewhat recently. But then even like when I was watching some of your music videos today on YouTube, one of your really old ones came up. It was from like 8 years ago, and it was you and Jen, and then previous members.
Yeah, that's probably Out of Hand that you found.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yes, we went through quite a few members till we found our main dudes. But yeah, it's funny to look back at all that stuff. But yeah, we went through it. Lots of bass players, few drummers, until we finally were like, okay, we gotta stick to somebody. I mean, they were just the right ones. Neil and Josh were like, meant to be for us. They grew up together, and so it all just clicked.
Well, and it was cool too because when I first moved to LA in 2007, my first boyfriend out here was friends with Neil, and that was how I met Neil. So Neil was one of like the first people I ever met when I moved to LA.
Oh my God, that's so crazy.
I remember like getting drunk in his apartment one night.
Was your boyfriend at the time? Did he go to MI?
Yeah, he did. I think maybe that's how they knew each other.
Institute, because all those guys, Josh and Neil did, and then that's I think why they moved out here.
Yeah.
Because
it was like he at the time. I don't know if he still lives there, but at the time he lived like close to MI, and we all kind of lived in that neighborhood. Yeah. So it seems like we're about halfway through our questions now. So this is normally where I'd ask you to play a couple songs. The reception is still a little spotty. Everybody out there watching, do you have any tips for us of what we should do? What the fuck should we do?
Down there in Hollywood.
Yeah, I always put my phone on Do Not Disturb when I'm doing these now, but one time I forgot and like I got a phone call in the middle.
Yeah, I should probably do that. Okay, so yeah, does anybody have advice for this?
It's so frustrating.
It is frustrating.
A couple weeks ago, I had tried an app that was like supposed to automatically go to, like if your Wi-Fi wasn't strong, it would automatically go to your cellular, but like the app didn't work very good.
Oh. The app needed good Wi-Fi.
It did. I feel like it didn't do its job. Like I did it for an interview and like we still had some issues.
Okay, I feel like right now we're pretty, like there's not been choppiness, but is it on your end choppy?
I think we're good now.
Okay. Should I play something?
It's so weird because neither of us have been moving. Like.
No, and we haven't been, someone said turn Wi-Fi on and off. You did that.
We did. We did.
Clothes with metal interfere.
Do they? Well, fuck, I've got a lot of metal on right now.
They're just pulling your leg.
Oh.
Okay.
I thought they were serious there for a minute.
I would think they're joking, but I don't know. Maybe I'm.
What did this person say? Should we try to re-add you one more time? So. What?
How do you do your hair like that, by the way?
Let's try to re-add you one more time. Sorry, guys. God. It's like, what do we do?
Whoa, I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Should I try to play? Are we good?
Yes. Play us some songs. That would be wonderful.
All right. Well, let me get through one and like tell me if it's if it's miserably choppy.
Okay.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
I'm always repeating sick thoughts in my head. I'm tired of being alone, all shit in the bed. But I think I can't come clean. I'm sick of always posting things on the internet. If I ever read the bullshit, it makes me regret everything. That's why I can't come clean. Whoa, I hope you notice I haven't slept from my sweaty palms on the menu at the restaurant. I'm caught up in all these drunken altercations of hands, interrogations exposing all my crimes. 'Cause you're wasting your time. I'm always repeating things I already said. Sick of all these people, all I want is my bed. But I think I can't come clean. This time I can't come clean. Oh, did you ever notice me waiting patiently for apologies I knew damn well would never come? I'm caught up in all these drunken altercations of hands, interrogations exposing all my crimes. You're wasting your time. The bitch broken polygraph. I tried so hard not to laugh. I swear I almost threw up. Just go ahead and lock me up. I'm always repeating sick thoughts in my head. I'm tired of being alone, all the shit in the bed. But I think I can. I'm frozen again.
Woo! You didn't freeze till like the very end. God, that song is so pretty. This internet today. Okay.
I know.
It's like tell your
Yeah,
family in the other room
Okay, but
to
how
start
was it
Googling it.
to-
How do we fix it? Oh no. I was saying tell your
Okay.
family
How
in the
was
other
it
room
through
to
the
start.
song?
It was good. It didn't start to like cut out till the very, very end.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. So, okay. It's
Tell
so weird.
tell
But are
your
you?
family to start Googling how to fix it.
I don't know what we can do. Like, you're okay. Are you on Wi-Fi? You're not on Wi-Fi, or you are now?
I am now.
Okay.
Like,
All right. Well,
you're fine now again. It seems like
now
it's just...
I'm fine. Okay. I'll do another one.
Yes.
Okay. It didn't really like practice, but I will do Dear Beer. I'm about to hit send. I'm waiting for the weekend. The days go by so slow. Exaggerated expectations. A million shitty situations. It's my disappointment show. I'm so sick of drinking by myself. Nobody likes a fucking downer. Pretty sure I've heard this one before. And we all deserve exactly what we get. I try to smile, but I don't care. It always ends up as a blank stare. Already thinking about home. Despondency is creeping. My anxiety is peaking. Better just leave me alone. I'm so sick of drinking by myself. Nobody likes a fucking downer. Pretty sure I've heard this one before. There's so much more that I can give. Only so much I can give. I'm so sick of hating all my friends, but I'm too lazy to get new ones. Pretty sure I've heard this one before. We don't deserve exactly what we're getting. Sick of drinking by myself. Nobody likes a fucking downer. Pretty sure we're better off alone. And we all deserve exactly what we get. All by myself. I don't need nobody else. All by myself. I don't need nobody else.
Woo! That was pretty.
Thank you.
Did you write that after you got sober, or?
No, that was before. That was like even before I was like thinking about not drinking anymore. Like that was just like some of my songs. I'm like, oh yeah, that's very clear. I was like, but I feel like it was all just part of the process, and I wouldn't have written that song. So.
All right, so let's jump back into our questions and hope to God that the Wi-Fi cooperates with us. So yeah, we touched on earlier that obviously you're very open about being type 1 diabetic, and I've heard from your fans that are also diabetic that you speaking out about it has given them a lot of strength, because it's something that's, you know, you're gonna, if you have it, you'll have it your whole life, right? Yeah. So
yes. Yeah.
Can you talk about like how it's affected you as a musician? Oh shit.
Yeah. What happened?
I was just saying, oh shit, because I think there was like a lag, and I was like, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
Oh no, it's okay. Yeah, so I was diagnosed when I was 16. It's very genetic. So your pancreas, I'll try to do this like as simply as possible and quick. Your pancreas produces insulin. So every time normal people eat a meal, your insulin like pumps that into your body. So your sugars stay at a level between like 80 and 100 or whatever. Yeah. So my pancreas doesn't. So I have to do insulin shots, you know, instead. So that just entails, it's constantly testing your blood, which now that Bluetooths to my phone, and doing shots for like everything I eat, and you're just constantly on that track to just make sure, you know, it's kind of like a game. We just want to stay here, but that's not a reality. Staying here and living a normal life is hard, and so there's a lot of things that affect it. Stress and like being on the road definitely is hard, because you don't know like exactly when you're gonna eat and sleep, and so it's hard, but it's manageable. Like it's a shitty disease, but at least it's manageable, you know. But a lot of my anxiety, depression does stem from that. Like I was diagnosed at 16, and that's just when like depression kicked in and everything else. But I just never used to talk about it before, and now like with the BOMBPOPS and everything and kind of having that platform, I was like, no, like this is my duty to like talk about this. And it's amazing the people that reach out to me, either they're diabetic themselves or they have a child who's diabetic, and so like I respond to everybody that, you know, messages me, and I'm like, I'm here for you like anytime. So if anyone's diabetic or a loved one is diabetic, I know that it's such a struggle. If your wife is diabetic or your husband, I mean, like, my husband has to deal with my mood swings and all my stuff, and, like, you know, he's always on alert, listening for my alarms if he has to middle of the night to, like, get me orange juice and get my sugars back. So everybody's affected by it. And my band has to deal with it. You know, it's always on their mind. I had a seizure on the road a month ago, and that, like, traumatized, like, Jen. Like, she saw me, like, pretty much dying, you know, and it was not a pretty sight. And so, you know, yeah, it affects everyone around you, and I just want to help people. And I think with this platform and my music, and I'm so happy, like, I wrote that song about it, because I feel like there's not, like, punk rock songs about diabetes, and it's all in the heart, and I was able to, like, really be real with that, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, a couple other musicians, you know, that were known that they had diabetes was what Keith Morris talked about it in his book, that, you know, he was in Europe to do a show, and, like, there was no food for him there, and he like, had a diabetic episode because of it, and, like, he wasn't open about his diabetes, so everyone was just like, what is wrong with this guy? Is he, like, fucked up or what?
Right. I know, and that's what I found also very important is, like, now, like, on our riders and everything, it's like we have a diabetic in the band, because sometimes you show up to the venue so early and there's, like, nothing, they haven't even gotten, like, stuff, like, set up, and that's definitely important to have, like, some kind of food and, like, a juice or something just in case when I show up to the venue. So, and then I also don't have to, like, look like a bitch being like, where's my food?
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not that I'm just sassy. It's like, no, I have a condition and I have to eat every so many hours. And if I don't, you know, and I think that people just, if they don't understand what diabetes is, then they don't understand, like, how crucial that is, that you need to eat or drink something.
Yeah, I know. I think that is important, because there is that common, like, misconception between type 1 and type 2 as well. Like, type 2 is also genetic, but it's more if you've not had a healthy diet, like overweight, and you can cure it with diet and exercise and pills sometimes. And sometimes if it do insulin shots, but it is curable. And so, like, with type 1, people will be like, did you used to be, like, really fat, or, like, whatever? It's like, no, did you used to eat a lot of sugar as a kid, and, like, all that? Like, it's nothing to do with that. Like, my pancreas just was like, fuck you, I'm out, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense with the orange juice. I remember I live in Hollywood, so when I would go out, I would go to the Rainbow, and occasionally I would see Lemmy there in his chair playing gambling, and the times that I saw him there was closer to the end of his life. And I remember he had switched his Jack and Cokes, like, very close, because he didn't want to give up drinking. He was just like, I'm living my life, I'm doing it. And I remember, like, very close to the end of his life, him sitting there drinking orange juice with vodka. Because you mentioned that, like, you have to have orange juice.
And it stabilizes. Yeah, so when your blood sugar is low, orange juice or anything like anything with sugar, orange juice just fastest. Like, but yeah, when my blood going down, that means, like, I've done too much insulin, and you need to get it back up. So hold on.
I just turned my Wi-Fi off to see if that helped. Audio keeps going out. Yeah, because that's what I'm getting on my end. On my end, it's
How is it?
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so, like, we're talking about important things here. Can the Wi-Fi cooperate?
I know, what the hell.
Okay.
All right. We gotta think of the positive, though. It's been working more than it hasn't.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, these are all good things, and I think it is important to talk about, because even myself, like, there are, like you said, there are those stereotypes people are just like, oh, they have diabetes because they're unhealthy and they're overweight. And it's like, no, like you said, type 1 is very different than type 2.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you like bringing this up because it is a good thing to talk about, and that helps me get the word out. So.
Well, so we kind of touched on it. What are some of the biggest struggles you face with touring? It's just being able to get food and substances in you when you need them.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no routine. But even with diabetes, you can get up and do the same thing every day and eat the same thing, and it could. I mean, the main thing actually is so adrenaline can make your blood sugars go up. So when I play a show, my blood sugar goes really high. So I have to do a shot of insulin to play a show.
Yeah.
I'm like not eating anything, but it's just the adrenaline, and I don't want to get off stage. Like I've had like some awesome great shows and then gotten off stage and my blood sugar is like super high, like 400, which if you know, like that's super high, and I feel like complete balls, like horrible, when I should be like stoked, like I just played this show and I'm just like, oh, I just want to like barf and pass out, like. But you know, again, kind of used to it. It's not, now I've kind of gotten it down after like a lot of touring, and but that is one of the hardest things. It's just like I have to do a freaking like stick a needle in me to play a show because my body gets too excited. And
yeah, I would imagine that's not something that you ever get used to, of like having to do that.
No, because like I said, it's also like different every day. Like you can get used to the shots and stuff, but I'm definitely not used to like the bullshit of it. Like I still have those days where I just like feel bad for myself. I think that's okay. You know, it could be worse. I don't have like 6 months to live from like a cancer diagnosis, but I'm also like, it's just forever, and I'm like still not used to it. Like I still am like, I don't want to deal with this today. Like I really don't. And I think it's okay to have like your bad times and bad days, and kind of be like, you know, you're not gonna die if you let your blood sugars get a little high and kind of like not give a fuck about it for like a little bit, like if you need that. But yeah, so all you can do is keep going, and I feel like it does motivate me and like make me accept it more when I can like help other people, you know.
Yeah, and I would imagine like the monitor you have. I saw you post on your stories. You're like, oh, this is so itchy. I wish Jen was here scratching around it. I would imagine that with like technology, it's getting a little bit easier to manage it than say like, you know, poor like Keith Morris, who had it in like was diagnosed in like what, like the 90s or something. Oh my God.
Yeah, even then, it's crazy the technology. Like my dad was diagnosed when he was 16, and they have like this big like machine that you would have to like pee on to test your urine. And like now I just look at my phone and the number's right there. I mean, even without this, I was like, how did I used to tour just checking my fingers. I wasn't able to have that like safety of like looking when I go on stage and seeing exactly what my blood is. I can go during the middle of a set and just tap my phone and like there it is. I'm like, how did I used to, you know, I'd prick my finger all the time. I would never know. And I used to tour like that and like go to sleep like wasted like that. And that's just, it's scary, you know?
Yeah, it's probably easier to fuck off when you're like drunk, but now that you're sober, you're like, I can see that where you're like, I just don't want to fucking deal with this today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God. Well, you're doing it, and you're an inspiration to everyone else out there, you know, that you can live a full, happy life and manage it and be healthy.
Yeah, you can manage it. That's for sure.
So I saw that you have a YouTube and an Instagram called The Odd Duck Family, where you share vlogs with your dog and your husband and your son. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so we've kind of had this going like a couple, like we thought of like Odd Duck, you know, over a year ago, 2 years ago, and we made t-shirts and stuff like that. But especially because of this quarantine, you know, and my son's like all watches the YouTube and the gaming YouTube and the family vloggers and all that stuff. And I'm like, we do such fun things as family. I love to video, and I absolutely love to edit video. Like it brings me so much joy and satisfaction. So we just, you know, we kind of like had some YouTube videos before, but now we're like really, you know, trying to do it. We'll like do cooking stuff, music, like my son does songs and we record them and make music videos and like all kinds of stuff. So yes, subscribe to Odd Duck Family because we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. My son is hilarious and he's really proud of it. And he's like really serious about it. Like he tries to like have these like meetings with me. He just like talks and talks. I'm like, okay.
His music video was so funny, the werewolf one.
Thank you. Yes.
Oh my god.
It was so. So I was like, damn, I wish I was able to do this shit as a kid. So we have fun and like even because we've been homeschooling, you know, and he's finally out for summer, but. Some days I was like, fuck it. We're not doing like regular school. We're going to like write a song. I'll show you how to record it. And like, you know, it's way, way better than school.
So how was that? I've wondered that. Obviously I don't have any children, but I've wondered for parents in this quarantine that have had to homeschool their children, like, was there like a website you went to that like gave you curriculum or what?
Yeah. So they had like a school, they have a app that we were using anyway before, like just like for parent teacher correspondence. So they started using that and like putting assignments on there, and then he would have a Zoom meeting every morning for an hour. Just like, you know, like with the technology, it was just constantly, and there's like 30 kids on there. They're trying to do like a music class. Some kids like swinging around like purple. Some teachers like so and so swinging around purple underwear, and then like there's like parents in the background like yelling at their kids. Because everyone's going fucking crazy and like not realizing that they're not muted. So you'll hear like a dad be like, "Fucking pay attention!" Like this and that. Like I cussed at Adler once on it, and he was like, "Mama, we weren't muted," and I was like, "I don't care. I don't even care at this point."
It was like seeing that there's this nutritionist, and she's just like kind of a wellness professional, like, you know, and watching her lives, and she has a toddler. And somebody that is so grounded and at peace and like fucking Buddhist and all that shit, she was even getting really frustrated. She's like, I did not realize how much those few hours a day meant to me when he was in school. I love him, but he has this excess energy. And like,
yeah, we're not supposed to. That's the reason they go to school. Just so much time spent together too. Your own kids don't want to really listen to you after a certain point. I just get annoying. He would be like, I can't with you right now, Mama. And I'm like, I fucking can't with you, you know? Like, you know, so it's an experience we'll never forget. I just like had to, yeah, it was really hard waking up every morning and be like, oh my God, I have to like do assignments and stuff. And we don't have a printer, and I didn't want to like buy one because printers are just a pain in the ass. And like, so I'm like hand copying like all this math shit he had to do. And like, it was a lot of work. So I'm glad it's summer now.
Oh my God. I can imagine too, especially for you. You're like, I am done with school. I am not in school. Why am I here in school right now?
Yeah. And like, I didn't sign up for that part. I was like, I'm gonna have a kid, but like he'll go to school. And it's funny because I was kind of like mentioning to my husband before all this, I was like, you know, like I kind of thought about like homeschooling Adler and then like we can travel and stuff. And now I'm like, no, it's careful what you wish for, because I swear it really comes back to bite you in the ass.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Well, so your show though, Odd Duck Family, how did you come up with the name for that?
I think that, well, we were just, I don't know, we were just, shooting around like different ideas, and like we said, I think my husband was like, how about Odd Duck? And I was like, that's perfect, because we are so weird. I know everyone says they're weird and like there is no normal or whatever, but like we're a pretty odd family. Like Adler's weird as hell. Like it's like you're on acid. It's like you're on acid when you're hanging out with him. And so like I wanted to like celebrate like all of the weirdos and like kind of the misfits. And so like just celebrate being different and kind of like that whole thing. So, and Odd Duck's Odd Duck, and it's cute. We had a cute little logo with like the duck with the flipped up duck bill and stuff. So it all kind of like, I was like, I can't believe we like thought of this. Like it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube for like, for kids. I mean, there's a huge market for that, for like families and kids. Oh, yeah. I mean, YouTube is just such an awesome platform because there's literally everything on it, from channels like my channel where it's like punk rock bands and shows, and then, you know, family oriented content. And it's such an awesome platform.
Yeah, it is. And it's really cool too, because I'm like, I look back at like my family home videos, you know, and they're like all crazy and like just like gives you a headache to watch it, because it's like, but like I'm like, our family videos are like edited and cool. Like when we want to like go back and watch some of these, it's like, oh, this is us doing that. And we got it once we can get back out there too, because my husband does this whole thing, like he has a really good pirate costume. And like he would like go out, we like went into like Bevmo, and he's like, where be the rum? And like just like acted a fool, like tried to pay like with like gold coins at Target and shit. Like we were just like messing. It was so fun. It was like funny stuff. So I'm excited to get back out there and kind of like be in the real world and like maybe like fuck with people and stuff.
That is really hilarious. It's kind of like reminiscent of that show Jackass, you know, where they would really commit to their characters.
Oh my God, I love
my
that.
favorite one was Party Boy. Like, remember Party Boy?
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah. I love like doing stuff in that's what I love about tour is I don't know why I feel like even if I'm like 2 hours away from LA, like I feel like I could like do it. Like if I'm in another country, like I'm super silly and feel like I could do like things in public. I don't know. And like everyone says too, like my drummer's like, you are way crazier like when you're not drinking. Like I will like do crazier things. So
well, so let's talk about that. The last time I hung out with you guys was in November before this started, and I'm hearing some of your stories in private that were pretty crazy. Can you share some that you'd be comfortable sharing with everyone watching?
Yeah, gosh, there's a lot of incriminating things, but well, I mean the main one that comes to mind is we had like animal crackers on this one tour, and it came in like one of those big jars, you know? And I was like, when these are gone, I'm gonna shit in this jar. And it wasn't it, and we were gonna like pull a prank, like put the jar like in the back of the truck that like the other band would like the other band's truck or whatever. And it was so dumb. Like we were at this venue, I was just like bored as hell. I was with my friend Taylor. Everyone else was in the venue. We're parked like around the corner from it, so there's a perfectly fine bathroom to like use. We like slammed some pizza, and I'm like sitting in the van with Taylor, and I'm like, I gotta shit. I was like, the jar's empty. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And she has a video, but it's like mostly audio, which is like even better. And first of all, like I did it. And I was very surprised by like, you know, that I all like made it in there. And I was also in our van, which we were like, you know, all like that's our home.
Yeah.
And so we just slammed this pizza too. So I'd done it, and like I'm like not really proud of it, you know, but like I did it, and I was like, oh my God, the thing was steaming up, and like it was like a large poop too, and it was like steaming up, and I like as like a couple seconds went by, I was like getting so grossed out by myself that I did that.
It is gross. It's really gross.
It's so gross. I know. But like at the same time, it's like really kind of normal. And so I jumped out of the van and proceeded to projectile vomit. It was like Exorcist. And that part, Taylor has to find that footage because the puke is so crazy. It was just like yeah. So there was shit and puke, and it was just, and then like everyone, like it was not a good time on the tour to like do something. Like no one, like, not that I was thinking everyone was gonna think it was like funny,
yeah. But
Jen was just like, Jen came back and Taylor and I were laughing, and Jen's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'm like not gonna talk to you for the rest of the night. Oh, but you know, stuff like that.
That's pretty funny though that she was so offended by it. She
was. I thought she was gonna be like more stoked and like laughing, but she's just like, and I was like, oh, you're right. Like, what is wrong with me?
What did the guys do? What was the guys' reaction?
I don't even remember. I think everyone was just like, you're gross. Like, it was like, because they were like kind of into it before, being like, oh yeah, and then we'll put the band we were playing with was like touring in a pickup truck, so we're gonna like put it in the back of the thing, you know. We're like, oh yeah, it'll be funny. And then like everyone else was just like, once I did it, they're like, ew. And it was so
I mean, like, you know, when you've actually got like a steamy thing of poo, it's like, this is so gross.
it was so gross. But it was really like nice poo. It was satisfying.
I can tell you, in my neighborhood, there was a time a few years ago that I was like, who is not picking up after their dog? Someone has a huge dog, and who is not? And they kept shitting literally in my driveway, in my fucking driveway. So it wasn't like it could have it was like in my driveway. And I was like, who is this irresponsible pet owner that has this massive fucking dog? And so I remember one day, like, it was gross, and I was like, this needs to not be here. So I took a bag and picked it up like dog poo. And my neighbors told me later that it was a homeless person that had kept doing that. And I remember when I picked it up, I was like, I seriously was like almost threw up. I was like,
oh.
Because I was like, what am I supposed to do? There's a massive pile of shit in my driveway. There's no like grass, or it's like not raining. Like, how, if I don't pick it up, it's just gonna sit here.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's disgusting.
Human poop?
But
there's something really disgusting about human poop. Like, it's fucking gross.
I know. Jen, we were our first time in France, and we were like, we were in Paris. We were in Paris, and we were like, oh, we're in Paris. Ooh, and, like, played at some like grimy venue, and like down the street from it, we're walking around, and we're peeing between two cars, Jen and I, and she straight up stepped in human shit, and she's like, had a bag around her foot the whole time. And we're just like, welcome to Paris. It's so clean.
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
Okay, so what's a hobby you'd like to pick up? Let's get off the poo talk and tell me about a hobby you'd like to pick up.
Well, I was thinking about this one because I have like I'm making these blankets that I've been doing, and I have a lot of weird hobbies like cardboard creations and that. But I really want to get more into gardening.
Yeah.
I'm into it, and my husband and I are actually like in the process of trying to either start a community garden in our neighborhood, or try to find, there's a few like that are close by that we're like trying to contact the people and see if there's still like a thing, or we could take over the spot, because we're in you're in LA, like we're in an apartment, like it's not like we have a big area downstairs that I can maybe start with my neighbors and stuff, but we gotta like build a planter. I don't know. But anyway, gardening would be really cool. I would love to grow, our own veggies and herbs and all that. But I don't have the greenest thumb. Like I kill a lot of plants, but it's just hard in the apartment. So I would like to like start a community garden. We were just trying to think about, with everything going on right now too, like how we can like bring the community together, and so it's a good start. So I'm gonna have to be a good gardener for like doing this shit.
I did see one of the apartment buildings in my neighborhood. They had done something like that where they had tried to start a little community garden, and I think it is nice because like, especially when you're in an apartment building, it's like there isn't a lot of greenery, and it does do something to have that like nature.
Yeah. I know. So I'm gonna either try to do it down here. I mean, we have this big giant courtyard, but we need, the planter boxes and something like that, and the building manager's kind of a biatch, so we'll see. But yeah, so gardening.
Aww, I have some planter boxes that I don't know if I'm going to use. They're like this big and this wide. They're not very big, but if you wanted them.
Okay. Oh yeah, I might hit you up about.
Yeah, because I really don't think I'm going to use them. They've been sitting there for a while, and I have a garden, fortunately, but with a garden, it's like I have a gardener.
Yeah.
I'm like, I cannot.
Yeah, it's a lot to maintain, for sure.
Yeah, but I was like thinking about that the other day. I'm like, I have these planter boxes, and I don't need them because I have a garden, and so maybe they could be repurposed to your place.
Okay, yeah. I'll definitely hit you up about that. Let me talk to my manager and see if she'll let me set some up down there.
Yeah.
We can start.
So, cool. Back into our questions. Favorite thing to eat? What's your favorite thing to eat?
Ooh, that's hard. My husband though, I'm gonna go with this because it's the most like consistent thing. Cause I love eggs Benedict, but it's like where you're getting like what's that hollandaise sauce like? How's the poached egg? Because that's really hard to get right. But my husband makes just regular Kraft mac and cheese, but he puts caramelized onions, bacon, and jalapenos in there, and like extra cheddar cheese, and it's just so bomb. Like that would be like my death row meal.
That sounds so good. I miss bacon. I'm vegan, so I don't eat meat anymore.
Oh,
But I'm like,
yeah.
I do kind of miss it sometimes. I'm like,
Yeah, I used to be like pescatarian, and I do try to stay away. Like I don't eat meat that often,
Yeah.
but like
Ow.
bacon is. I was trying to get you on my thing, but yeah, bacon is hard to give up.
So, least favorite thing to eat then?
Well, does milk count? Because I hate milk. Like
I hate milk too.
I can't do milk. I eat my cereal dry. Milk makes me gag.
Even like non-dairy milks?
Well,
Yeah, I just don't.
I can have milk in my cereal, but not alone.
What do you mean alone? Like you can't be alone eating a cereal?
No. So I can have milk in my cereal.
But not milk alone.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I can't drink.
Maybe you just
Well,
like no milk by itself, like only with cereal.
Yeah, but I can't even do it with cereal. I'll have Lucky Charms. Well, my whole thing with Lucky Charms, it's a whole process. But like, I'll eat the non-marshmallow, the regular cereal. I'll eat that, and it takes a while. It's like a thing, you know. Like I can't just go pour a bowl of Lucky Charms without like knowing what I'm getting into, you know. And then I have to eat those out, and it's satisfying to me, like to have the spoon, like just pick out the other pieces, and then at the end you got all the marshmallows, and you just have like big bites of just pure marshmallow. Oh, it's so wonderful.
That is so funny. People always say that with Lucky Charms, that they should just like make a Lucky Charms that's like just the marshmallows.
I know, and I think they do. Like I looked it up online, but like it was a bag for like expensive, like on the black market.
Yeah, it was like somebody picked out all the marshmallows and compiled them into a bag. So
I picked each of these with my own fingers.
well, so that's all of our questions. So I want to close with, will you play us a couple more songs?
Yeah, I can.
Their connection is better now. Maybe it was my Wi-Fi all along.
I know. Well, I thought you tried. I thought you went
I
off
did.
and then. Oh, weird. Okay. Well, yeah, we're good now.
I noticed that in my house, sometimes my Wi-Fi does that, where it'll just cut out for a time, and then it just decides to come back when it does, and I'm like, awesome, great.
Okay, do you want to be with me? Okay, wait, hold on. Let me tune it, because it's been... You want to do that one?
Yeah.
Well, let me do one first, and we'll end with that one.
Okay.
Okay, can you give me... Does anybody see the top to this can of worms? I accidentally opened it up, and now they're crawling everywhere. The worms are crawling, and the worms are crawling out. Worms are even playing blackjack on myself, running in this coffin, but I need some not alone. It's all over now. What you gonna do? Only wrong somehow, so what you gonna do? It only works somehow, so what you gonna do? I'm comatose from all that shit you put me through. Tell me, tell me, for now, it's all over now. Nothing you can do. Yeah. It's all over now. It's all over now. Yeah. So what you gonna do?
Adam, you're so funny in the background.
I know, and he's like shaking the bed, so my voice is like, I'm like, see what I mean? Like, I've had training, like, no matter what could be going on, and I can just try to keep, like, going. Okay, you're gonna sing this one with me?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
you guys gonna do that duet? The one that you guys put on YouTube?
Yeah, we'll do one more, okay?
Awesome.
Okay. I'm on a train, southbound train to San Diego. Goodbye, lover, gotta let go. I'm heading down to Coronado. You left me in LA. And I'll be waiting for you here, my dear. And you'll be haunting me in December. I'll be on the beach. Hope you remember me. Don't wanna be that stranger. 5 days go by. No sign of you, no sign of no one. Checked in under the name of someone. I don't know what to expect. What's next? But I'll be waiting for you here, my dear. And you'll be haunting me in December. And I'll be on the beach. Hope you remember me. Don't wanna be that stranger. On the beach, sanding my toes. I'm all alone, nowhere that anybody knows. I guess our love will never meant to be, and I'll forever stay a seaside mystery. Not sure if I know how to use one. They tell me that there's nothing to it. Just pull the trigger, you can do it. You left me in LA.
Woo! That was so cute. You guys are adorable when you do your duets.
I know, it's so cute, it's my little buddy.
Oh my god, you're so sweaty.
I am sweaty. We have this light on us, so.
We gotta be lit. We gotta be lit.
I know. Come on, boy. You know about this lighting on the money makeup.
Oh, well, I want to thank you so much for taking your Saturday afternoon to do this. I really appreciate it, and it was a lot of fun talking with you.
You too. Seriously, thank you so much. And it's good for me to like do this stuff and not get in that zone of like not doing anything, because like I feel like when I play my first show again, I'm gonna be like, oh, a little nervous, even though I'll be really stoked. But and your questions were great.
Thank
like
you.
always trying to like be hopeful of like good interview questions. And Jen's like, you definitely should do it. Like her questions were really good. So
oh, thank you. Yeah, I was in this whole quarantine too. It was like I was just going out of my mind when it started, and I had that thought too. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna be so rusty when we come out of this. So I was like, fuck it.
No, it's a great idea, and it's so good to just keep like what you're doing is so rad because it's keeping us all somewhat relevant and just to be able to talk about what's going on.
It saves me so much too. Like the time, like, you know, taking time off out of respect for the Black Lives Matter movement. I got fucking depressed, dude. I was like, these shows save me too because I miss shows. I miss supporting artists, and like I'm so grateful of you to come on and play your beautiful songs because it's, you know, we miss it. Everybody out there watching too, I'm sure they miss it. So it's a group effort. So I appreciate your time so much.
No, thank you so much, and I will let you know about those flower planter things.
Yes, I don't think I'm going to have use for them, so I would be happy to send them to a good home to make your apartment building more beautiful.
Yes, for my hobby, my new hobby.
All right, have a good Saturday.
All right, thank you. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.